What's up? If you've clicked on this video, it does say episode 2. I'm reviewing these separately, so I'm assuming you've seen episode 1, so I get to talk about what was in episode 1. No being upset about the spoilers. This isn't like the entire season, so avoiding spoilers is a priority. That's not what this is. So welcome. I am John Stark, aka Mac the Movie Guy, and this is my review of Stranger Things episode 2. Season 4 episode 2. I suppose there are multiple episode 2s, so just in case, figured I'd make that a little bit more evident as to which Stranger Things episode 2 I'm talking about. I'm a blind film critic. So yeah, there are blind fans of Stranger Things. At least one. Me. I'm hoping more. My episode 1 review had at least a couple views. I'm assuming at least some of those people are blind, because it seems to be my core audience. So, yeah. So, in episode 2, we pick up where episode 1 left off. And, obviously, we're gonna talk about Chrissy, because man, she went through some hellish experience there at the end of episode 1. I did hint in my last review. I was like, if you're wondering why there's a parental guide now in Stranger Things, the last 10 seconds of episode 1 will let you know. And if you saw the last 10 seconds, you were probably like, yup, they definitely raised the violence level on this show. And they do it again. I guess that's kind of a spoiler, but there's more violence, and we get to keep seeing shots of Chrissy's mangled and horribly deformed body. I don't know. Sometimes I feel kind of bad for the visual audience that has to see things like that. I'm like, okay, that sounds really disturbing. But, so Chrissy's all dead and her body's fucked up, and they're trying to figure out who it was. And of course, the main suspect is Eddie, the only person who actually saw what happened, but he fled the scene. So they're trying to talk to his uncle, who was the one who actually found Chrissy's body that's like in a pile in his trailer. And, of course, Max notices this, because she conveniently lives in the trailer across from where this happens. And that's how she gets the news sort of to the rest of the crew. Not all of the crew is together. They're sort of spread out. This is like the Avengers have all left, and now they're trying to get the gang back together. So she just has to settle with Dustin for right now. So she goes to Dustin. And Dustin's like, no, Eddie would never do that. He's, because Max is like, I don't know, I think it's Eddie, but by the way, some stuff was going down in my trailer too around the same time. So maybe, we do know that this town has a penchant for weird shit happening. So maybe it wasn't Eddie. Maybe it's not that simple. So Dustin and Max go out and recruit more people to help them find Eddie, because they want to try to get to him before the cops and get his side of the story. So meanwhile, some of the B subplots, we've got heading on out to California to see Elle. We've got Love reunited. And Will's not too happy about playing third wheel on that trip. I guess he made it home in time in the last episode. Remember, because Mom was like, if you're not home by 9, you're not going on the trip. But Dungeons and Dragons, Mom, I don't care. You're not going on that trip. But you paid for the plane ticket. It's non-refundable. Yeah, so that happened, and that sort of is a thing going on, and you keep waiting for, like, Elle to have her Carrie moment, I guess. Like, that Angela girl is such a bitch. Like, I'm in episode 2. I have no idea where that character goes. But I'm really rooting for that. I'm like, man, if they're killing off characters this season, can that thing that's over, that's in like a completely different state, can it just jump to California momentarily and just grab Angela? Because, people like that don't grow up to be good people. So yeah, Angela's a complete waste of time as a human being, and could hopefully falls into a manhole or something in episode 4. That'd be great. Because I feel like if not, Elle's powers are gonna just rip through her at some point. She's gonna bring 11 will come back, and the full force of that will happen if Angela doesn't stop poking the bear. We've got, I don't know, they're still looking for Hopper, and there's more development in that sense. Hopper may or may not actually appear in this episode, but we do learn more about where he is, what he's doing. So this story is progressing. It's progressing all of these subplots. So I know there's a lot of fans that just read a story about how Jonathan apparently has a lot of fans, and they were all like upset at the lack of stuff he has to do this season in Stranger Things, which is hilarious. I mean, I guess that's true, because when you move half the cast to California, which is not where the crazy shit is happening, then you have to create crazy shit for them out in California. And I don't know if Angela is quite as bad as the Upside Down, like, I just don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. If she's the worst thing they have to face out in California, then they'll probably be fine, Mike and Will and Elle. I feel like with everything that they faced in the first 3 seasons, if Angela is the worst thing they have to face, they're good to go, so I feel like that's my like sort of low spoiler version of this. Also, they're trying to investigate, and that little newspaper that Nancy's running is, I guess, still a thing. And there's some character named Fred that just sort of appears out of nowhere. I feel like I don't know, maybe he's a minor character. It's been a long time since season 3. I didn't go back and rewatch any of the previous seasons. Maybe Fred's been around. He's definitely never been around as like a huge character. But like Fred's there, and he's like the new sidekick to this paper, this thing that she's trying to do, and they're trying to get the story and the scoop. That's about all I can say on that storyline. And let's just say one of them gets a really good interview. They get a scoop straight from the source. They definitely would be able to report on what's going on. That's it. Lucas is still stuck on the basketball team, and he's still the least interesting of our main characters. Because his thing is just, I'm gonna try to be popular, and Jason's like starting some sort of riot thing of people because he's upset that his girlfriend got killed, and Lucas is kind of stuck in that, and he like refuses to acknowledge those people are his friends. And it's like, at some point you have to realize that the people you're with they're not your people. Your people are the ones that you keep trying to like not acknowledge. You're so concerned with popularity that you're going to join Jason's angry mob of drunk basketball players. So I don't think Jason's a bad dude. I just think he's reacting. He finds out about Chrissy, and that's just reactionary. He could end up winning me over by the end of the season. I'm making fun of him for right now, but because it was kind of a cheesy getting everybody together. Let's go defend Chrissy's honor. Moment. I love that they were going to watch Thundercats. I guess that's a little bit of a spoiler, but you don't know where that is. But if you've seen the episode, that was my favorite part, was when that one kid was like, I thought we were watching Thundercats. And I was like, oh my God. Yes, they're in high school and they still watch cartoons. I can totally relate because I was in high school and I still watch cartoons. So that was cool. But so that's kind of how Stranger Things plays out. Very, very cool, very creepy. This new season, we've got, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to call this thing. I mean, we're sort of given a name for it, near the end of episode 2, but I don't know that that's the entirety of it. There's a lot of weird shit that goes on in Stranger Things where they usually connect the dots, and then it's never as simple as you think it is. So I'm not rushing to any sort of judgment on that level. So as far as the audio description goes, again, so totally on point. I mean, they've got so much weird shit they have to describe in this show. It's crazy. You've got when people have these visions of horrific things that they're seeing, with people rotting away and weird demons, these flashes, plus these bodies that get like horribly tormented and broken, and having to describe that. And there's a lot of visual horror, body horror going into this that yeah, I mean, for horror fans, that's what they're looking for. I always say, whenever talking about a horror film, you gotta describe the gore, because that is what people come to these things for. That's the point of the genre. I know that Stranger Things has not gone all in before, but they're going all in now. So this is like a franchise when it suddenly changes ratings. Like, every previous film has been one rating, and now the next one is another one. So get ready. This is the R-rated season of Stranger Things. I cannot impress upon parents enough that maybe your kids did watch the first 3 seasons of Stranger Things. I would maybe watch the first episode first and see if you're okay with it. And if you're good with that, and you think your kids can tolerate that level of then okay, then watch it with them and see what happens. But don't just assume that your kids are good with Stranger Things because they saw the first 3 seasons, because season 4 is just on a completely different level in terms of what it's trying to do. I don't know. Feels like it was directed. I feel like they called up the guy who did like Hereditary, and they were like, "Hey, want to do a season of Stranger Things?" And he was like, "Oh, yes." He just like came in, and just Ari, I know his name, Ari something. I wasn't planning for that reference, but I was just trying to pick like a random horror director that is really popular right now. Ari Aster or something like that. Anyway, Stranger Things. And now we've got this clearly more violent season. So, but it's pulling out some good performances. I am deeply concerned. I'm deeply concerned for our cast. I will say that. That is my reaction to the show, because of the fact that there seems to be no rhyme or reason to how this thing chooses its victims. So literally anybody could get this thing. It could be one of our people, and there doesn't seem to be right now. There's no cure. There's no way. There's nothing to fix it. Nobody has any clue what's going on. So if, God forbid, it happens to somebody we actually care about, like, they done for at this point, because they have not uncovered any part of the mystery that's remotely useful. So, yeah, I don't know what the body count is on this season, but I do sort of fear for the people who have been around. I'd hate to see us lose a longtime cast member. I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen, but I'm thinking the people in California are safe, but I don't know that they're going to stay in California. I don't know if this isn't going to be one of those things where they're like, hey guys, can you come back to Hawkins? Because we've got some crazy shit and we don't know how to deal with it. So then everybody ends up back together. I think that's probably what those extra 2 episodes are that they're holding off on, but why we're only getting 7 of the 9 episodes of the season. Anyway, this broke Netflix records, so I'm sure everybody already saw this episode. But if you didn't, I hope you enjoyed the recap review. I gave the first episode an A. This episode still is blowing my mind. It wasn't the 2.5-hour episode. I don't know when I'm going to get to that one. I don't even know which episode it is. I'm scared of it. It terrifies me. But I'm going to... Anyway, I'm still giving this an A. It stays at an A. I'm so happy it's back. I'm gonna cry when this thing is over next season 5 being the final season. So but at the rate they make them now, I'll have 3 years until season 5 comes out. So these kids will be in college. But thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully you guys like Stranger Things too. And keep watching these videos, and I'll keep recapping and reviewing, and we'll keep talking about Stranger Things, all things Stranger Things. And please subscribe. I'm stuck at 46. I'd love to get that higher. I've got a website, macthemovieguy.com. I also like to hype up the audio description project because they do list everything that's got audio description, where it is, how to find it, where to watch it, and also theadna.org, so you can find out who audio describes what. So if you like a certain narrator, like if you like the narrator of Stranger Things, Tansy Alexander, you can look her up, see what else she's doing, and maybe watch more things with her describing. So that's theadna.org. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll be doing episode 3 relatively soon. I don't usually binge watch things really fast, so I'm spacing this out. That's why I do it episodically instead of, my God, I watched the whole season within minutes of it coming out. Some people are crazy, but thanks for watching.